They want to control the narrative with an inch of their lives.
That Meghan won't be told anything.
She is indeed her own worst enemy, primarily due to her absolute need to be in control and to be obeyed. So let's break it down. Well, she can't stand Harry, that much is clear. In the past, we've seen mask slips and cracks, but now it's a whole new level. We know that Meghan doesn't like to be told what to do. And here we go. This is typical Meghan style. She's put in her place. She's angry. Rapid eye blinking. So it's so easy to read Meghan because she's so obvious. We've seen this hundreds of times. When she's not happy, she does her rapid blinking. And her sulky face, of course, because how else can you tell that a child is having a tantrum? And as we all know, another thing that she can't stand is to be interrupted. She must be obeyed and she must control every situation and every person. So she went from love bombing to control with love bombing to good old basic control. She must be obeyed. What Meghan wants, Meghan gets.
Well, Harry reportedly told organisers in the run-up to the wedding, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets.
And Meghan wants to control, and I can see her control all over this interview. We all know how manipulative she is. We all know what a fake victim she is. And we all know that she spends her life reading about herself on the social media platforms that she claims not to be on, because she constantly corrects the narrative. And the very fact that this new hairdo conceals her Caucasian parting tells me all that I need to know. This whole interview just reeks of the hypocrisy that we are so used to from this gruesome twosome. Do as I say, not as I do. One rule for thee and another rule for me, because we're so much better than you are. We have Harry, the media dragon slayer, on his quest for justice, while we have, on the other hand, Meghan, the media manipulator, correcting narrative with said dragon. The hypocrites. And the first sign of her grubby control mates being all over this interview is when they say that they are huggers. Are you kidding me? They are still living in the past. They are still harping on about the first time that she met our future King and Queen of England, barefoot, in ripped jeans, still insisting that a hug rather than a curtsy was appropriate. Dear me, they just do not give it a rest, continually harping on in the past. Okay, Meghan, I obey you. I do as you say. You are right. Just please stop. And if they are really better known as Harry and Meghan, why introduce them with the titles bestowed upon them by the British fuddy-duddy monarchy who refused her therapy? Make it make sense. The level of hypocrisy. And then, as if we haven't already lived enough with this basic introduction, Jane Pauley then kindly explains to confused viewers what qualifies these two grifters to actually be present with these poor parents by reminding those at the back of the grief Harry is experienced. Seriously. And just Harry, not William, just Harry. Which explains why he likes us to call him just Harry, because the world revolves around him. Then back to Meghan, sporting her latest Mein General beige uniform. We are reminded of claims that we haven't heard since the previous CBS interview in 2021. What? despite the majority of the royal family having had therapy or actually championing mental health through their charity work, and despite Harry himself in the Heads Together campaign with William and Catherine telling us all that William helped him with his own mental health. I mean, I know these two want to control everything on the internet and on social media, but please, somebody tell them that the things are out there on the public domain. We have you on video saying things, Harry.
Change it. It ain't going to bring her back. And when you start thinking like that, it can be really damaging. And you always said to me, you said, you know, you've got to sit down and think about those memories. But for me, it was like, don't want to think about it.
Yeah. But I think what must happen with us and must happen with others as well is that you have to prioritise your mental health. Yeah. You have to say to yourself at some point, because it's very easy to run away from it, to walk away from it and avoid it the whole time. Someone has to take the lead and has to be brave enough to force that conversation.
And so despite what our eyes can see and our ears can hear, Meghan is pulling out this old story again, trying to convince us that she was denied therapy because it would look bad in this family who promotes therapy, but that she was denied it, well, because of her ethnic background and all of that kind of stuff. This is just so reminiscent of the 43% Nigerian grift. I can't believe it. So, what else qualifies Meghan as an expert in this domain? Well, because she suffers at the hand of online bullies, of course. Which is so strange, because I remember a time when standing up to bullies spreading malicious lies about your people, country and monarchy made you stunning and brave. Yet on Planet Markle, it makes you, well, a bully. But please, let's not have any journalists ask them questions about the Sussex squad and their leader, Mind General. This is just outrageous. These poor grieving parents are now being represented in their grief of having their children bullied into unaliving themselves or drug-related problems that led to their untimely deaths. They are now being represented by the celebrity voices of bullies and druggies. What is going on? These people deserve better. Anyway, let's see the control freak in action. And here comes the first mass slip. Look at that. Oh, Harry dared to interrupt her. Oh my God, she is so annoyed. But when he does interrupt her a second time, oh my God, she is livid. She can't stand him. Oh, the greatest love story ever told. Yeah, right. And just look at those shark eyes. What is wrong with her? She is so cold, callous, and she has zero compassion.
Callous timing, deliberate timing.
Their modus operandi has been to trash the royal family. Their business model since they moved to America has been basically, let's bring down the royal family and make money out of it.
Want more proof that shark eyes controlled everything? It's so scripted that the audio of "I can see you touch your husband's hand" doesn't even match up with the visual. It's all as fake as her new face.
I wasn't expecting it, but I understand why you are, because there is a through line, I think. And
Thomas Markle, demand to be fully reimbursed for your daughter's acting lessons. It's a joke.
I haven't really scraped the surface on my experience.
And what interview with the control freak bully would be complete without her sending threats to the royal family? Of course, we're all used to that now. This is why she's showing us what a bully she is. She did the Oprah interview attacking the royal family, bullying the royal family when Prince Philip was dying. She did the Cut interview threatening the dying Queen Elizabeth II herself. And now she's done this interview with her little veiled threats while Charles and Catherine are both battling cancer. She is an absolute control freak, obey me now, bully.
I would never want someone else to not be believed.
Because if you don't believe her, if you don't obey her, then you find yourself without a job. Just ask Piers Morgan or Alison P. Davis about that one. So, what's my conclusion about this interview? What did I see in this? Well, first of all, I saw two has-beens who gave a 10-minute Sunday morning interview about something that was nothing at all to do with them, but they desperately tried to attach themselves to anything. Whereas a few years ago, they had a 2-hour prime time spot dedicated to them. Their time is over. I saw a royal who gave up everything for his manipulative wife, reminiscent of Wallace and Edward, and they seem as happy as they were together. Perfect, till death do us part. I saw a control freak who demands to be obeyed and believed, or it's off with his head. And I no longer need royal biographers to tell me that she is a bully. She told me herself by continuously threatening the royal family when they are at their most vulnerable. And I saw hypocrites who represent grieving families who have lost their children while they themselves cut off their own family and deny access to their children.
It's obviously very revealing of her character when her own dad is saying that she won't even provide a photo of the grandkids.
Thomas Markle's never seen them. As far as I know, never spoken to them on Zoom, hasn't even got a picture of them. That's cruelty on Meghan's part.
Okay, I want to...
She has no compassion for her own family, Harry's family, or anyone's family, because she is void of emotion. Her be kind mantras are as fake as her new physique.
I was such a fraud.